you. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of The Troy Show. I'm Troy McDonald. I'm honored to be here with you as we kick off what I hope is an inspirational journey for all of us. And if you didn't know, I hosted my own radio show. It was called The Troy McDonald Show. It was on WGTD Radio. And I did that for a year. And I said, you know what? I want to get bigger. I want to get better. So we're here today hosting this show, The Troy Show, on Channel 14, Kenosha Community Media. Believe it or not, I was told at one point I wouldn't make it. I was bullied and harassed in high school and told I shouldn't even attempt to make it. So I'm here today hosting this show, and it's a complete honor to have overcome those odds. And what I hope that the mission of this show is, and hopefully you get that at home, is that no matter what the odds are in your life, you can overcome them. If my guests can overcome them, I can overcome them, and you can. And that's what I hope. We're going to do this show monthly, so I get 12 cracks at it. But that's what I hope, that this show inspires you to be the best person that you can be. And so we're going to kick off every episode with the inspirational story of the month. And I didn't know what story to pick for this episode, because how do you set the precedent, the tone, for hopefully a long body of work? And so I found a really interesting story about a teen girl in Texas who saved her best friends from a burning fire. And there's so much bad press about young people not doing anything, just lounging around, playing video games. And this story is about girls saving their friends. So the house was on fire. If they would have stayed in 2 minutes longer, and if the friend didn't alert the group, that house would have burned down on all of them and killed them. So she woke her friends up, got them outside to safety, and they literally watched the house burn down. But everyone's okay, they survived. And I think that's an inspirational story that young people can, if it's not a TV show, it doesn't have to be radio, but they're making a difference in their community with their friends and their family and their loved ones. So that's what the show's all about. So today, this is the first ever show, and I did know the perfect guest for this episode, the perfect guests. The cast of the most anticipated show and musical of the year, SoulCafeLive. They're here. They're going to spill all the details about the play and the musical that has the community buzzing. But first, I'm going to talk to the director and founder of Yellow, which produces the show. And Christopher LeMark's story is fantastic. So please welcome to The Troy Show, Christopher LeMark. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Chris, honored to have you here.
Likewise, sir. Thank you.
So, what I wanted to talk about first was your story, which I think is so remarkable. Tell the audience about where you came from and what led you to this moment today.
Oh, sure. Well, as you all know, I'm Christopher LeMark, and I was born 1/29/79, and winter of '82, I was abandoned along with my 4 beautiful sisters by my mom. And we was placed in different homes, different shelters for a little while. And later on in '82, we all came back together again, and we was placed with my aunt and my uncle. And we lived there for about 12 years. And some of the things that we dealt with was the harsh reality of being abused. Some was molested. I was in the basement for 12 years as a part of my punishment, eating out the garbage can. Some of those things that took place in the house was very harsh. But as children, we had to endure that. But the cool thing about that is I still was able to use my imagination in that basement. And that's what got me through a lot of that frustration as a kid. But you know what? As a child, I didn't even know I was being abused until I started watching The Cosby Show and Full House and some of those episodes.
Because you saw what a family was supposed to be like.
Yes.
On those shows.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was quite a dark experience. But again, I didn't know it was dark. But the older I got and the more TV I saw, that was the escape. Being able to watch a somewhat false reality that I didn't think was achievable because of the house that I lived in.
Did you blame yourself?
I didn't blame myself as a child. I think that it was my normal. You know, it was just normal for me.
Yeah, because I know a lot of kids in that situation, they say, if only I did something better,
Sure.
my parents wouldn't do this to me, or my aunt or my uncle, whoever. So you never felt any of that?
No, I never felt that. One of the issues that we had in our house and was the division. You know, like my aunt used to do stuff like, hey, well, Chris got in trouble at school today, so nobody can go outside. So what that did, when we should be joining together and fighting, to try to survive in this harsh reality, we were divided.
Yeah.
So they would threaten us and say, hey, if you go to counseling and you tell somebody that you was being abused and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then they would give somebody a gift so that person can be on their side versus like our side as a family. So it was really difficult to really have a relationship with my sisters growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you blame them?
I don't blame my sisters. I just really blame my mother growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't know no better.
Yeah.
I had to hear my aunt say harsh things about my mom. Your mom is dead. And she'd point to a picture and she'd say, look, there's your mom in the ditch, harsh. But, the cool thing about being in that basement, I used to always see like a little bit of sunlight.
Yeah.
And that was my hope.
Yeah.
But again, it was the power of the imagination, being able to function in that dark environment.
So how were you able to go from that to, the man who you are today?
Well, the cool thing about watching TV, having that escape, I was able to think about happy things, right? So when I eventually left the house, and I'll probably say the fall of '94, I started to live on the streets for a little while, stayed with some cousins, and then from there, transitioned to group homes and shelters. And at that point, I found my fate at 18, and that's what changed everything.
Yeah. So that was the moment for you.
That was the moment, yes.
That was the moment. Because there's a moment in everyone's life, and for me, like I was saying in the intro,
sure,
when you're bullied and harassed, you just say, you know what, I don't have to live like this.
Right.
And then it just clicks. So that was the moment connecting with God for you.
Yeah, like it was pivotal. I met this young lady by the name of Adrian, who I'm still very close to this day. She invited me to church, and I'm thinking, I don't want to go to church. But she was cute. So I said, if I go to church, hang out with her, maybe it, progress to something else. Yeah. And I end up going to church and liking it. And the cool thing about it was I actually just stayed.
Yeah.
And I was going. And then I started to read this word about God, right? Yeah. And the more I read about God, these exciting stories started to just cloud my mind. It was like, I never dealt with music before. I was a fan of Michael Jackson, but I never had these words forming in my head. I never had these stories, buying all these notepads and want to write these incredible stories. I never had that before. But the cool thing about it, all the pain of the past, and I grew up very isolated. So when I was living on my own, finally, I used to close all my blinds. It'd be very dark because I was so used to living in that basement world that I kept my house like that. But the more I read the Word of God, I was able to vent about this pain. And that's where it all began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that lead you to create Yellow, the company that is really transforming the way people look at music and young people in the area?
Well, the cool thing about Yellow is, again, it's the sunlight. It's the sunshine. It's that hope, It's that grace. It's that mercy. So I met this incredible guy by the name of Jeffrey Wimbo. And we started to do some of these things as far as being creative and talking about some of the stuff that we have in common. And the cool thing about that was you just never know where you're going to find a bit of sunshine. And I moved from Chicago. I came here, and I'm telling my sisters, I don't know about Kenosha, I need
That's
to
a big jump.
Yeah, because it was either Atlanta, New York, or Los Angeles. Yeah. But I came to Kenosha because my sisters was here, and they said, hey, come here and see if it will actually work. So I'm at this Boys and Girls Club, and me and Jeff did some of these cool things, and one day I'm like, it's time for another show. I'm sitting behind the desk at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm starting to think about the kids that's walking around Kenosha that have nothing to do, teen programs being cut. And I thought about what is happy, and I looked at the color yellow. And the psychology of Yellow is happiness, creativity, and art. Yeah. And I said, that's the show. And I told Jeff, and he was crazy enough to work with me on it. Yeah.
And so Yellow has really been the labor of love for you. But is it difficult? Do you still go back to that place? Do you have to remind yourself, like, I'm here now, this is what, I'm okay now?
It will always be my motivation.
Yeah.
because I feel like if you never have something to hold on to and to drive you and push you, you will always be stuck in that place of stagnant.
Yeah.
So it's my driving force.
Yeah. All right, we're going to have more with Christopher LeMark after the break. Stick around. Thank you.
As a parent, I know one of the most important times to be with your children is when they aren't feeling well. For many families, there's a place they can go to find the support they need.
Ronald McDonald House Charities programs provide that supportive environment so families can be together while their children are dealing with serious illnesses.
You can volunteer your time at a local Ronald McDonald House or drop your change in an RMHC canister.
Today is a great day for all of us to show our support.
To find out how you can get involved in your community, visit rmhc.org.
Hey, everybody. Thank you. We're here with Christopher LeMark, who is one of the founders of Yellow Happy Creative Art, which is really transforming the way people look at music and young people in our area. It really is a fantastic organization.
Thank you.
So you had a lot of success,
Yes.
in Chicago. So you were homeless, and then you started rapping and became a musician and had a lot of success in Chicago.
Sure.
How did you parlay that success in Kenosha? Why would you take that risk when you were so successful?
You know what? One of the things I learned was it doesn't matter where you at.
Yeah.
You just make it happen. And that's one of the things that I learned in my struggle. No one would do anything for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are in a
That's
dark
key.
place. So what are you going to do? Are you going to pull yourself out? Are you going to complain? Are you going to whisper and murmur? No, I decided to just, no matter what happened, no matter how many times I was homeless or didn't have any family, I was always going to make it. So when I came out here, it was just another challenge for me.
Yeah.
And again, I started to see so many kids who were creative, but they had no outlet. And I said, hey, I can be the outlet.
Were you surprised that there were so many young people in Kenosha? Because it has the reputation of being a sleepy, kind of
A bedroom town?
a bedroom town. Yeah. And so were you
Yeah.
worried that you would be able to enact such a new concept here?
No, I'm so aggressive. I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So again, you just do it. There's no excuse. You just have to do it.
Yeah. So are you amazed by the talent that you found?
I'm amazed, but they still have a lot more work because I feel like they always can do better.
Yeah.
No matter how good they will present themselves to be, I'm always pour because I want to see the greatest potential. See, no one told me as a kid I can do anything. They told me I'd be dead before 21. They called me a liar. They called me a whore. They called me a thief. They called me a bastard. They abandoned me. All these different things.
Yeah.
All these names that attached to me. But nobody said you have potential.
Yeah.
So no matter what background you come from,
Yeah.
it's always something great to pull out of you.
And see, I think that's what the amazing part is. It only takes one person
Right.
to tell you that you have potential.
Right. Just one.
Yeah. And if you believe it and continue to tell yourself that,
Sure.
then you say, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do it. And you kind of get a rhythm, in what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. If someone, like you was bullied, right?
Yeah.
So if you keep being placed in a position where you're constantly being told you're less and you're nothing, you don't fit in, if you don't have any self-esteem, you'll believe that. But the moment someone says, hey, Troy, you can do better,
Yeah.
then look what happened now.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny that you say that because when I was first starting out in radio, there was a person I called just for information. I just
Sure.
wanted to know if I was somewhat decent. He said, you're good, and then rattled off 20 things that I did bad. And what I remember most from that conversation was, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I have no training,
Right.
at least at the time.
Raw talent.
Yeah, so it's there. So there's a starting place.
Right.
So you have to be able to take that negative energy and make it positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question for you is, you've become a fantastic community leader. You've created Soul Cafe Live. The community is buzzing about this.
Sure.
If you could go back and ask the young Chris who was in that basement one thing, or you could tell him one thing, what would you tell him? What would you ask him? What would you say to him?
I would tell him, yes, you didn't have a mom or dad, but please don't sleep around. Like to find love. Please don't be scared. And don't hate yourself. And don't be afraid to smile. Because I didn't start smiling fully until I was 30.
Wow.
You know?
Really?
Yeah.
30 years old.
Yeah.
Because you were so ashamed of yourself, you hated yourself?
I mean, I hated where I came from. You know?
So the smile represented
freedom. Yeah.
It's amazing how freeing just a smile can be. Wow. So do you feel now that you have worth and value, whether it be
Yes.
Soul Cafe Live or through the many other things that you do?
Yeah, I think the most important thing in my life is self-worth, understanding my purpose. My purpose is to spark everybody that crossed my path.
Yeah.
No matter what age, no what color, you know, no matter who you are, my job is to spark you. So.
Yeah. Chris, thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here, sharing your story.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Right. Wow. Okay. Stay here for a second. After the break, the wait is over. The cast of Soul Cafe Live here, the most anticipated concert of the summer. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is the moment you've been waiting for. The cast of the most anticipated summer concert in Kenosha is here. The cast of Soul Cafe Live. Give it up for the cast of Soul Cafe Live. They're here. We have Manny, Marquand, Caitlin, Asia, Denzel, Riley, Khadija, and Kyle. Welcome to the Troy Show. Thanks for being here. Thank you. So, you guys really get along like a family, and I'm going to pass the mic to you, whoever wants to answer here. But you guys are really like a family. You guys have really bonded over the course of this time. What has this experience been like, bonding as a family together here?
It's been a great experience, especially with me being the oldest out of the group. It just taught me that no matter the age, you're great.
And you guys are 14 through 18, all of you. And actually, I think you're 20. So, I mean, all of you, really young, talented people. Are you surprised that, you know, these guys are so young and so talented?
I'm not surprised, but I will be.
Come to the show. What is the hardest part, really, of preparing for this concert? Because the expectations are so high for this event.
I think the hardest part for all of us is really understanding what Chris wants from us, because Chris wants a lot from us, and he knows we can do it, which is the coolest part. He knows what we can do even if we don't, and that's probably the hardest part.
So you feel like you're matching what he wants and always trying to deliver on that. Are you pushed? Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like you've gotten better though? Yeah, so there we go. Who's the funniest? Everyone's pointing to him. Okay. So why?
That's just me, tell you the truth.
And actually, we were at rehearsals, and I've had the privilege of seeing them in rehearsal. He taught me what swag was for the first time. So the cool swag. What is your favorite song right now?
The Band is by J. Cole.
J. Cole. Yes. J. Cole. Yeah. Manny?
Music.
Everything. Caitlin, how about you?
My favorite song of the time is Sunday Morning by Maroon 5.
Yeah, I like that song. Good song. Asia.
I have so many, but probably like any Miguel song is my favorite song.
Yeah, I like the one with Mariah Carey. It just came out too. Yeah, beautiful. Really good song. Denzel, how about you?
I got so many, but I guess I'll just say Grew Up Fast by J. Cole. I like that one.
I couldn't possibly choose. I've got so many favorites.
My favorite song is actually Bubbly by Kobe Kalate.
My favorite song is probably Stuck in the Moment by Joe Budden.
Look at you, the mic tricks. So, you know that Kenosha's watching. You know, this is, I would like to think, an important show for this network. And, you know, Kenosha's been hearing about Soul Cafe Live for a while. Do you feel the pressure? Are you nervous to deliver June 29th at Ruther? You know, the amazing show that's going to happen. Do you feel the pressure to deliver? Yeah.
At first I was, but then my confidence has grown a lot because of Chris and how he believes in us and he pushes us to be our best.
Yeah. And is that, because I know when I was at your age, you know, and Manny, we're pretty much the same age here, but when I was, 14, 15, I did not take criticism, very, very well at all. Has that been a wake-up call, dealing with that? Yeah? Yeah, sort of? Yeah. So is there a song that you're performing on June 29th that you're excited about? What if, that you're just like, I'm going to go on stage, I'm going to do amazing, I'm proud of it?
The song I'm actually performing is the song that I performed at first in the first Yellow concert, which is Put Your Records On by Corinne Bailey Rae. I'm actually really, really excited to do it because even though I've been singing the song forever and I should be tired of it, I'm not, and I see myself like improving so much. So yeah.
And I've had the privilege, like I said, of seeing the rehearsals, and it's just amazing how much that they've grown over the last few weeks and months that you guys have been preparing for this. So when you auditioned for this show, where were you in your lives?
When I first auditioned for Yellow, it was like a turning point in my life, from all the struggle, the hard times, to a happy, creative, artistic concert, which exactly what Yellow is. And I met amazing people like Christopher and AT. You don't know him yet, but eventually you will. And it's just crazy, the vibe and the environment. It's like nothing else.
I've talked about bullying too, and that's a cause that's close to my heart. And I know, Riley, that you've participated in some causes that are close to your heart. So Yellow isn't just a concert. You guys really stand for something that's close to all of your hearts. So Riley, if you could elaborate on that.
One song that I've written, I'm a songwriter, it's called Choice, and it's about being drug-free. Well, that was what it was originally about, but it's mostly about making choices in your life, whether it's big choices or small choices, because everyone affects your everyday life. And I think that's a really important thing to put out in the community.
And so I know that you guys have, going to be doing the anti-violence rally that's coming up. So Yellow really has a mission that's important to you. Yeah. So actually, I'm going to surprise you right now. Right on the air. There's something that you don't know. So, yeah, this is the first surprise on the Troy Show. On June 25th, your guys are going to be getting a full-page spread in the Kenosha News. They're going to do photographs, and they're going to do a whole article about your story and everything. Riley, don't faint. Do not faint. Okay? Do not faint. And this I'm shocking you. So is that good? How do you feel? Kenosha News, I talked to them and we're preparing for this episode, and they said they are so excited about covering this show. They've never seen anything like it. So how do you feel? After I shocked you. Are you upright? Yeah. Yeah. So I want to thank the cast of Soul Cafe Live for being here. You can purchase your tickets now online. Go to facebook.com/yellowhca, yellowhca for more information. Again, the cast of Soul Cafe Live, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. All right, after this, we are going to have a new segment. It's called Ask Troy. We got some questions earlier, so stay tuned for that. We'll be right back.
Join Step Out Walk to Fight Diabetes this fall and raise money to fight diabetes. Together we can stop diabetes, one step at a time. Take your first step and register today at 1-888-DIABETES or visit diabetes.org/stepout.
Hey everybody, we are back on The Troy Show. This is our first ever brand new segment, Ask Troy. So before the show began, I asked our lovely studio audience to submit questions. What was on their mind? Anything about me, what's going on in their lives. So I got the list of questions here. And I'm stumped. I'm really stumped. I really don't know. Okay, so I'll try my best here. The first question is, which other TV show host inspired you? Okay, there's so many that have been big. Of course, there's Oprah Winfrey. There's Phil Donahue, Steve Harvey. They've all been fantastic, and they've had so great long runs, 25, 30 years. And Steve Harvey just getting started, but Oprah, Donahue, so many years. And so if I can just follow in those footsteps and emulate what they've done, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. Yeah. All right. All right, second question here. What fears do you have about TV? Good question, because as I said earlier, I did radio for a year. I guess my biggest fear would be, I don't know, I guess today was the technical stuff. The camera's okay, the lighting, all of that stuff is very different. In radio, I could go in my pajamas, which I didn't do, but kind of disgusting. But I did, could be comfortable, didn't have to worry about a lot of this extra stuff. So that's what I'm worried about. I know that if I come in prepared, that hopefully I'll do the best to entertain the audience and you at home. But the technical stuff, making sure the camera is all right. But we have a great team here, so we'll be okay. We will. So thank you for the questions, the studio audience for being here with Ask Troy. Thank you for that. I want to say thank you so much to all of you at home for tuning in to the first episode of The Troy Show. We're going to do this every single month. And like I said, my goal is to inspire you to be the best person that you can be. You listen to Chris's story, you see the Soul Cafe Live kids, and we're going to continue to provide inspirational stories to motivate you. That's what this show is all about and what this platform really is all about. So I want to thank Christopher LeMark, the cast of Soul Cafe Live, for being here. Give it up for them. Yes. For more information about this show, visit our website, www.thetroyshow.com. You can listen to the radio show. That's still going. We're not canceling that. That's going to continue. You can listen to that, or you can watch this very episode. We'll be back here every single month on Channel 14, Kenosha Community Media. Until next time, bye, everybody.